dangerous Hurricane Sally is headed for the North Gulf Coast. Good Monday evening, I'm Mike Nasel with the latest on Hurricane Sally and the rest of the record-breaking tropical Atlantic. Let's get right to it. We'll start with Sally as of 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern from the National Hurricane Center. Hurricane Sally was at 28.8 north, 87.4 west, winds of 100 miles per hour. It is now a Category 2 hurricane. 12 hours ago when I last talked to you, it was a 60-mile-an-hour tropical storm. That is rapid intensification. It is moving west-northwest at 6 miles per hour, expected to slow down and move north, and then come ashore late Tuesday, early Wednesday, somewhere here along the North Gulf Coast. We, of course, have hurricane warnings from Morgan City, Louisiana, to Navarre, Florida on the Panhandle, including Lake Pontchartrain, Lake Maurepas, and downtown New Orleans. Again, the good news for New Orleans this afternoon is that the track has shifted to the right. The bad news is you could still see hurricane winds and nasty flooding and water rises. Category 2 right now is expected to be a high-end Category 2, maybe getting up there towards Category 3. And again, that's right in this region, extensive damage. A Category 2 hurricane, what kind of pictures would we see? Something like that on the left side of your screen. Winds 96 to 110, extensive damage, boats crashed and docks flooded, and that's to say nothing of the storm surge. This is more a picture of wind damage, but the storm surge could be really bad. Here's the visible satellite imagery of Hurricane Sally. Look right there. Do you see that right in there? That looks like an eye starting to pop out. Again, you can see some of this wind shear headed for it. Not entirely favorable, but much more favorable than it was yesterday. Look at these spikes here as it fans out on the western side. That is a sign of intensification. The hurricane hunters and the NOAA aircraft have been zigzagging all through Sally, reporting pressures in the 980s and winds near 100 miles per hour. So a powerful hurricane now, and it's going to make that slow crawl and then likely a turn somewhere in the general direction of the Mississippi-Alabama border. But again, if you're in New Orleans or in, let's say, Pensacola, you guys need to be on the alert. You can see that wind shear on this chart. See these increasing shear tendencies here? That is kind of keeping Sally in check. You can see our little teddy bear out here with Teddy has nothing but low wind shear ahead of it. We'll talk about him a little bit. But nevertheless, Sally does have those hot waters to take advantage of, and that's why it's been intensifying. The H-Wurf hurricane model does bring Sally ashore in about 30 hours, right near areas here of Pascagoula, Mississippi, and the border as a high-end Category 2 or 3 hurricane. Winds anywhere 100 to 115, but really the rainfall and the flood threat would be the worst. You can see the HMON hurricane model brings it ashore in about 36 hours, further east, more in the Alabama area. That would just drive surge right up Mobile Bay, and again, 100 miles an hour or so. So a Category 2 or 3 hurricane, slow-moving, making landfall, is kind of what we're looking at here. Again, a definite rightward trend on the models. Remember, a lot of them were bringing it into Louisiana. We now see that turn. There's enough ridging here of high pressure to keep Sally moving west, but then it's going to lose steering current, so it's going to kind of just meander like a top spinning as it slows down right into the coastline of Mississippi and Alabama. But again, if you're in Georgia and the Florida Panhandle, be prepared for some gusty winds and heavy rainfall as well. Here's the radar out of Mobile. Look at that. Look at the eye wall building there. It's definitely still dealing with some shear. It's a little bit naked here on the southern side. Nevertheless, it's been drifting west-northwest, and again, that motion is expected to eventually bend, but all these little barrier islands here and this low-lying area of southeastern Louisiana, Plaquemines Parish, you guys, if you're in a township or a little area there, get out of Dodge because that water's rising already and it's only going to go up through time. This is the radar out of Eglin Air Force Base, and you can see there's the center of Sally spinning there south of Pensacola and south of Mobile Bay. And the heaviest weather, the tropical storm winds, are going to start to impact that area later tonight. So again, if you got boats to tie down or something, even over here in the Hurricane Michael ravaged areas like Panama City and Mexico Beach, tie that stuff down now. Get your stuff ready now because you don't have a lot of time before the heavy rain and the gusty winds make their way towards you. Storm surge could be really bad, 7 to 11 feet here near the mouth of the Mississippi, 6 to 9 feet near Ocean Springs and Dauphin Island, Mobile Bay 6 to 9 feet, and then lower amounts here to the right, St. Andrew Bay 1 to 3 feet, Pensacola Bay 2 to 4 feet. Nevertheless, it's going to be a prolonged fetch pushing in because Sally's moving slowly, and so that's going to be a big problem here. You can see this is the map of the areas we're looking at. Right now, landfall could be anywhere in this region, but if I were in areas of Pascagoula, maybe Biloxi, I'd be really getting prepared right now, listening to my local officials, and if any evacuations are ordered, make sure you heed them, okay? And in Dauphin Island here, this area, you guys were devastated by Hurricane Frederick back in '79, drove storm surge over there. That was a Category 3 or 4. Hopefully Sally is not as bad as Frederick, but again, if it pushes a surge into downtown Mobile, we have a problem. Other than the surge, the rainfall, look at this, 15 to 20 inches, especially as Sally slows down, and that's going to prolong any flood event. So again, Hurricane Sally, a powerful Category 2, is going to be making landfall in about 24 to 36 hours along the Gulf Coast, but the weather will start to go downhill before then, and you guys got to be ready for it. I wanted to mention Hurricane Paulette. It lashed Bermuda as a Category 1 hurricane. It's now a Category 2, 105 miles an hour. It will become a major hurricane, it looks like, and move on out. Nevertheless, it gave Bermuda a fierce battering. There's the infrared satellite imagery. There's Bermuda down there where I circled, and the eye of Paulette moving away. Bermuda, all the watches and warnings discontinued, and it shouldn't be a problem for you anymore. Renee, 5 p.m., Renee has dissipated. It never amounted to the hurricane we thought it would. The dissipation remnants should move west, so we're not going to deal with Renee anymore. Teddy, we are going to see a major hurricane out of it. It's 50 miles an hour, expected to move generally out to sea, but here in Bermuda, watch it. Watch it in Bermuda. Look at these models. These are the Europeans. You see where Bermuda is on this map? Bermuda is right in here. And so if you're in Bermuda, after going through Paulette, you guys want to keep an eye on Teddy. We also have another tropical storm. This is Tropical Storm Vicky, another name gone by, and it is 40 miles an hour, 45 miles per hour rather, is expected to dissipate and move generally to the west. The hurricane name list, we don't exhaust it very frequently, but now that we're done with Vicky, we have one name left, and that's Wilfred. After that, we run out of names. So we're going to move on to the Greek alphabet, which we've only done one time. That was 2005. Now remember, in 1933, if we gave them names, we would have used it. And there were years before satellite when we missed a lot of storms. We catch them better now. But nevertheless, we're probably going to get pretty far down this Greek alphabet. So we're going to watch it very carefully. But again, alpha, beta, gamma, delta. If we're on Hurricane Pi or something, that's just going to be messed up. So again, a very busy hurricane season. You can see all our storms. There's Teddy. There's what's left of Renee. There's Vicky. We have another wave moving off. And obviously Paulette moving out to sea. But the main focus for the next 24 to 36 hours is going to be on our dangerous Hurricane Sally nearing the North Gulf Coast. I'm Mike Naso with the latest, and I'll talk to you guys next time.